Now, who can tell me what this is? Is it a graph of the scientific temper of Indians over the last 10 years?
दुनिया में सबसे पहली प्लास्टिक सर्जरी शरीर मनुष्य का और माथा हाथी का गणेश जी का निर्माण
No, this is our company's sales report. If we don't do something soon, we won't have a job a month from now. What should we do? We need to revamp our astrology app. So, why don't we try something else? Maybe give people actual value instead of scamming them? Uh-oh. Did you just imply that astrology is a scam? Even if that's true, we never actually say it's a bad idea. Okay? Anyone else wanna follow him? I'll come up with a revamped design, sir. Finally, someone who's worth the salary we're paying them. Fine, have the report on my desk by Monday. I have an even better idea. How about I make a video? AstroBark. My name's Pranav and you're watching Science is Dope. Welcome to my ultimate video on how to use astrology to build an app that you can use to sack up your customers and make lots of money. Wait, you don't know what that word sack up means? Well, you're in luck because I've made an entire playlist of videos that you can watch to get yourself up to speed. And this video is not by any means a reference to an existing astrology app that's already sacking its customer base. Because if it were, that would invite unnecessary lawsuits and I wouldn't want that. Unless I'm an idiot, which many of you haters think in my comment section. So let's see. Also, if that happens, I'm gonna be in double trouble because this video is sponsored by Stayqrious New School. More about them later in the video. Firstly, why do I say we are scamming people with an astrology app? Is it astrology like a legitimate science like microbiology or some shit? Okay, first I'm gonna tell you the story behind why people think astrology is a real science. Then I'm gonna tell you why it's not. And this is gonna hurt some sentiments. But I'm gonna need you to bear with me because otherwise we're never gonna get to the good part, which comes later in the video on how to build an app that uses astrology to make lots of money. Okay, so why did people think that astrology is a science? Because hey, we're studying stars and planets and other things in the sky and shit, right? That sounds like science.
Yes, science!
And plus, when things happen in the sky, things also happen correspondingly here on Earth. I mean, when these particular stars are up in this part of the sky, it's time to harvest the crops. Or maybe it's time to hunt the migrating herds. Or when this particular comet is back after so many years, that's a bad omen because someone important is about to die. And lo and behold, this king here died when that comet came. Oh, we better note all this down so we understand the patterns of movement of objects in the sky. Hey, that sounds a lot like astronomy. It is. In fact, the line between astrology and astronomy was kind of blurred because we're studying astronomical objects in both cases, right? But the mistake astrology made was in thinking that these objects in the sky had any effect over things that happen here on Earth. But you only said when a particular star is up in the sky, it's time to harvest. That's because crop harvests depend on seasons. And seasons are caused by the earth moving around the sun. And star positions in the sky are also caused by the earth moving around the sun. For example, this constellation is called Orion and it's only visible in the northern hemisphere in winter months. And there are similar patterns for other constellations also. So you can basically say it's like a glorified calendar for people who don't have calendars. But unfortunately, people only saw the crop harvest and the stars in the sky and ended up correlating them both when they were both actually happening because of the Earth's movement around the sun. In other words, they ended up saying, hey, objects in the sky are telling us what's happening here on Earth. When that wasn't the case, people were just mistaking correlation for causation. Okay, so what about that comet that came and that king died? People die all the time. That's what makes humans mortal. If it wasn't this king, then it would be this other king that died. There are plenty of old and deceased people about to die any moment, whether or not a comet comes. In fact, 1.5 lakh people die every day. So, does that mean every star pattern or every comet is a bad omen? You see the flaw in this logic here, right? And plus, objects in the sky are so far away that they can't possibly have any effect on the course of our lives. In fact, the only effect any astronomical object can apply on you is the force of gravity. And the moon alone exerts more force of gravity on you than any other astronomical planet or star or anything you can name. And even that force is unimaginably tiny. And so, even though the moon can cause things like tidal motion and stuff, it cannot affect the water in your body. So, the next time you think that the moon has so much effect on you, think again. And these people that claim that Mercury is in retrograde and that's why I f***ed up, they're just trying to find something external to blame to avoid responsibility for their actions. So astrology is basically pointless? Yeah, kinda. In fact, we learned more about physics and observed the objects in the sky with actual telescopes and realized that those objects are just there. They don't affect our lives. But we also learned that astronomy, however, is very useful. It teaches us a lot about things in space and how these objects interact with each other. So you're saying astrology is a scam. I'm saying that astrology is bogus. What makes it a scam is the fact that some people realize that you can make money from it by telling innocent, gullible people that astrology can actually tell your future. Okay, elaborate. See, human brains crave certainty. If you tell them that something unpredictable is gonna happen in the future, they can't handle it. For example, if they aren't sure about, say, getting a good score in their exams, or their romantic partner staying with them, or them getting into an accident and, say, breaking their leg, or losing their job, or even worse, their own death. These things scare people like anything. Plus, a lot of the times, these people are very vulnerable. Maybe because of recent death in the family or maybe a recent breakup, which makes these people a shiny target for all these astrology apps. And also, when something like astrology comes along and says, hey, we can tell your future because we are a real science. Even if that's not true, there are a lot of people willing to pay good money for that kind of external reassurance. They want that reassurance of their future from some external authority that knows what they're talking about. By the way, this is the same way all religions, godmen, priests, and even superstitions derive their power and authority. But that's for another video. Anyway, with astrology, you don't have to actually know what you're talking about. All you have to do is to convince others that you know what you're talking about. And astrology mostly does this by claiming it's a science. I think I get it now. That's why I respect something like medical science. It won't lie to you. It won't pretend to know what it doesn't know for sure. And it even tells you the possible side effects that you might experience by taking a medicine or procedure. But all this is probabilistic, which means it's not 100% certain. And this lack of 100% certainty makes some people uncomfortable. And they might go after something that can reassure them 100% and give them that certainty, such as traditional medicine like Ayurveda, even though they're telling them things that aren't backed up by evidence. The reason I'm telling you all this is because I want you to be under no illusion that this shit actually works. Only then can we build an effective astrology app. What I want you to understand is that even though this doesn't work, we can still make a lot of money from it. Even though this doesn't work, we can make sure people don't know that it doesn't work. And I'll show you how. Now, before I go any further, I must tell you about the sponsor of this video, Stayqrious New School. Now, they're an actual school that teaches you how to think critically and rationally. So, I'm not really sure why they're sponsoring this video on how to scam people and take advantage of their insecurities and make money. Now, I would say, nice try, Diddy. But they paid me good money and I'm just gonna say what they want me to say. Not only are they Cambridge affiliated, which means they're a complete replacement for schools with their own international curriculum, where they teach science, math, and language subjects. But that curriculum is based on the latest research, which of course you can read up more about on their website, which I'll link below. Their focus is also on real world skills like time management and money management and mental health, etc. Which, let's be honest, most of us were never taught in schools but turn out to be the most important skills in adulthood. And they want to equip their students not with narrow skills that help them find a job in the old world, but help them navigate this modern world of AI that's constantly changing. And you can see how their students are constantly looking forward to school, whereas in my day, I remember I was always coming up with clever ways of avoiding school. Also, they have only a max of 8 students in their class to make sure 8 students get proper undivided attention from whoever's teaching. And these students are working on projects and case studies that help them understand and apply what they learn. But most importantly, what they teach their students is to critically think and not fall for dubious misinformation online and manage social media anxiety. They explicitly teach rationality and help them avoid patterns of thinking that lead to fooling yourself. You know what? Honestly, as I say this, I realize they're a really good place to learn from. If I had kids of my own, I would send them here because I don't want them to fall for some astrology or some other scam or something online. I've provided a link to them below, and when you contact them, tell them that I sent you. That really helps in supporting the channel. I really want to thank Stayqrious and of course Beyonce for sponsoring this video. Now back to our astrology app, AstroBark. You know, astrology has been with us for hundreds, nay, thousands of years. But you know what's different this time? The convenience of a mobile phone. Combine the popularity of astrology with the popularity of the handheld smartphone and we have a deadly combination. So what's going to be our first step? Built-in astrology app. This will give people access to astrology like never before. And who's going to benefit? Us creators of the app. And who's going to be at a loss? The dumb customers who are going to pay us, silly. But you can't let them know that. You have to make them feel as if they're getting value for the amount of money they paid. How? We have to cater to the insecurities in their minds, the uncertainty that will eat them from the inside, the fear of the unknown. And who's going to provide them with certainty? Us, of course. That's how all scams work. Make them think they're getting value when they're actually getting nothing. And you get all their money. Now we have to learn how to do that, and that's what I'm here to teach you. Patience, my dear students, we're only at step 1. What's next? Yes. We're not the only ones who are gonna think of this idea. Thanks to capitalism, we're gonna have competition. You're gonna have to make your app stand out among all the other shitty ones that are trying to steal your money. That money is mine, bitches. Now, how do you make your app stand out? A UI UX. You have to make your interface so user-friendly that anyone who uses your app has no choice but to stay on there for hours. Hours during which you can take their money. Look at the UI UX of this, for example. White, background, yellow elements. All the important stuff are exactly where you can find them easily. This is step 2. And I'll tell you more tips on how to keep them there. Small nudges, small notifications, small pop-ups that they can click on that'll keep them there to take up your free services. And what should these pop-ups say? Let's look at Google Analytics for what age group mainly uses our app. 18 to 35 youngsters mainly. So their main concerns are not going to be about their health and their finances and their children's education. They're going to be more concerned about their own private lives, like their love lives, and rejection from the opposite sex, and troubles in their romantic life. So, what should our pop ups reflect? Will I get that girl to like me? Because, of course, most of our users are going to be male. Will my ex come back to me again? Will my partner stay with me or break up? Or worse, will my partner cheat on me? Or maybe something more generic like, will I get fired from my job? This is our step 3. Questions that give them a little more certainty about their future. And who's gonna give them that certainty? You know the answer. Step 4. Sign up qualified astrologers onto your app. Their qualifications must be very obvious on their profiles so that the customers have an overwhelming number of options to choose from. And earlier I put qualified in quotes because India is a country that considers astrology a legit science. It's very easy to get qualifications from many institutions to prove what a scientific astrologer you are. Now, this is how the app should work. When someone clicks on one of the pop-ups, they should be able to go to one of your qualified astrologers and have a conversation for free, because we gotta give them some freebies for them to continue using the app. And we'll give them more freebies with horoscopes containing Barnum statements and more articles on astrology that we'll just grab off the internet. And while they read all these, they are constantly getting more pop-ups that take them to our free services that we offer. Now, this is where the actual scamming starts. To continue speaking to the astrologer for more than 5 minutes, you have to pay money. Longer talks require more money. We'll provide them with exact rates depending on how long they want to talk to the astrologer. And then they can both set up a convenient time where they can have a video call and discuss all their problems. We'll provide an interface for all that. And this is where AstroBark or whatever astrology app you're trying to build is going to make most, if not all, its money. We'll provide even more paid features like Kundali readings and star sign readings, and maybe we'll provide upcoming features like palm reading and tarot card reading. And remember, with all these things, never tell them a single negative thing. It should all be a bright future with lots of hope for them. And all these things like tarot card and palm reading, they all work for the same reason: external reassurance that they can provide to make them feel a little more certain about their own future, even though that may not be true. Or did I say may not? That definitely is not true. And you have to remember, we're all sharks trying to steal money off all these fish. Wait, that analogy doesn't work. Anyway, we've done all we need to do to make our astrology app work. But something seems missing. I got it. We need to do promotions. That's going to be our step 5. How about we get people like Sadhguru and Sri and all these Babas to promote our app? Do you think that's a bit over the top? I mean, it kind of looks a little scammy already. Is this gonna make it look even more scammier? We need to think of better ways of promoting. How about some celebrities and actors and maybe even some sellout YouTubers? They'll promote literally anything for the right kind of money. Cool. So we need some celebrities promoting our app. Just get them to say, oh, how much this has helped me in my career with my films, etc. Even though we know exactly how colorfully their careers are going, this is gonna help us promote our app. Write articles on them on how much this has helped them with their success. Articles that our customers can access. Remember that all we're doing is appealing to their authority. They're famous people by virtue of which they have authority. Otherwise, what do they know about astrology or determining the future? We're also making use of another fallacy here. When people see, hey, this astrology thing is very popular, my friends are big fans of it, the people around me use it a lot, that means maybe I should use it, right? And that, my friends, is what is called an appeal to popularity, or the bandwagon fallacy, or as kids call it these days, FOMO, where you think something is true or valid just because it's popular among a lot of people, with no other evidence that supports it or backs it up. Now we've got everything for an astrology app, but something still feels missing. How about some social media promotion for people who tend to fall for this astrology shit? What kind of videos do they tend to watch? How about videos with the word astrology in the title? If my predictions are right, you would have gotten an ad for an astrology app right in this video. If I'm right, come on, that deserves a subscription to the channel. Anyway, I think I've got everything for an astrology app. I better show this to my boss. Sir, the revamped design, I made all of it. Awesome, let me watch it. Connect it to the TV. Welcome to my ultimate video on how to use astrology to build an app that you can use to sack up your customers and make lots of money. I like it. Now we just need someone to code all of it. I thought you had some low-paid computer science engineers who work some 80 hours a week or something like that. Yeah, but they all quit once they found out how little we're paying them. What? The CEOs need their money. I want to get serious for just 1 minute, okay? I know that many people tend to opt for astrology because it tends to be the cheaper option, right? But just think about it, okay? Do you want a cheaper option that doesn't work? Like astrology or tarot or palm reading or any kind of future telling? Or do you want to spend a little more money on something that actually works? Like therapists or counselors or mental health professionals. They actually help you resolve the anxieties you may have about the future, or specific things like your relationship, your finances, your health, or even things in your personal life. And if you're someone who struggles with money, like I sometimes do, then save what you have and don't give it to these scammers. I hope you make the right choice. Hey, if you like that video, I recommend all the videos in this playlist. I really want to thank my sponsor Stayqrious New School for supporting this video. And I really like the fact that they're just as aligned with me in imparting rationality to an audience, which we can all agree that the country really needs. I've got more videos in the satire theme planned, and if you like my work, then 1, be sure to subscribe to me, and 2, I really encourage you to support me in the links I've provided below. And I want to thank my highest tier members and patrons who support me. If you like this video, you might also like this one where I talked about common words that pseudoscience peddlers tend to use that you might want to watch out for. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, remember, science is dope.